Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF, joined as always by my main man, FFSnoog. We got a great show for you. A lot of you guys are really in the middle of rookie fever. You know, we're 20 plus days away from the NFL draft, which means a lot of you guys have your rookie drafts upcoming. So what Snoog and I have done is we put together a list of players and their rookie pick equivalents from our Smash Accept Patreon. Patreon link below, patreon.com/Smash Accept. Get all your rookie pick equivalents, your rookie guide information, everything you need in a one-stop shop to smash your offseason. Snoog, when we're starting to talk about this, a lot of guys are I like to look at this. These are your pick equivalents. This is like, if I have the 101, this is guys I can get. If I have the 102, these are veterans I can get, because rookie fever starts to take over and these guys really start to accumulate value, and we can see where you can really make some value with your rookie picks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why we kind of wanted to just put together like the general consensus of kind of what rookie drafts look like right now, market value, all that good stuff from Keep Trade Cut and all those big sites where you're just getting a consensus feel of where all these players are going. So we wanted to kind of take that consensus list and put together kind of player targets and what their equivalent values are in terms of players. And then we'll talk about who we like, who we don't like, what we'd be willing to pay for the rookie pick 101, etc. So let's jump into this first guy here, because we both know how good this guy is.
Ashton Jeanty, the clear 101. It's not even a debate. Every single year, the 101 is worth 30 to 50% more than the 102. I mean, last year, Caleb down to Marv, and then in years past, we've had multiple different ones where it's Burrow to CEH. We've had Breece Hall down to London or Wilson, whoever went in that area. This year is no exception to the rule. Ashton Jeanty's the clear-cut 101. We don't need to spend a lot of time on him. What I do want to talk about is I have seen multiple trades. As much as we think he is going to hit, and I believe he is, there is a surefire 95% chance. I mean, when you look at running backs that have gone in Superflex 101, you're talking Todd Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley. Those are the only 5 guys in the last 10 years that have gone 101 as a running back. All of them have hit for multiple RB1 seasons. So it's going to happen, but it's just a matter of, let's take a look at the values. Snoog, the position players that I'm seeing is I would prefer Jefferson, Chase, Neighbors, Bijan, Gibbs, Lamb, Bowers, Amon-Ra, Puka, and BTJ, which means as a rookie, he's the 11th best player, non-quarterback related. And that's rare air. I mean, this is someone where we're really going to be investing in that 101. Are there anybody here where you would say, you know what, I would comfortably rather have the 101 than any of these players?
Yeah, I'd take it over Puka and Amon-Ra St. Brown, like very easily for me. I think Jeanty's just that level. He's going to get to that point where he's comfortably over those guys. I want to say BTJ because I just think Jeanty's that good of a prospect and player. But that's the line for me. I think BTJ and Jeanty are like back-to-back for me, but I'd comfortably take both of them over Amon-Ra and Puka all day.
And I've been seeing trades right now. The one that really bothers me, the two of them, is I keep seeing people trading Neighbors and Bowers for the 101. Neighbors and Bowers is the most foundational tight end we have, period. He is going to put up elite level numbers. If it's not tight end premium, I can see it. If it's 0.5, it's Bowers. If it's 0.75, it's Bowers, and no debate. He's going first round startup, same as Malik Neighbors. Those guys are not guys that you want to trade. The other one I saw the other day that I'm just like, what are you guys doing, is trading Bijan and Gibbs for the 101. That's what we want him to be. As much as Jeanty, even if he is elite, he can't be that much more elite than what we saw from Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson. So don't even kick the tires on that. When we talk about absolute equivalence, though, Snoog, right now I want you to debate, would you rather have Nico Collins or the 101? And I think based off of what you just said about Puka and BTJ, that it's going to be a smash 101 here.
Yeah, it's a smash 101 for me. You're getting a 21-year-old running back that's a smash prospect with generational type draft capital coming his way, potentially in the top 10, versus a 26-year-old wide receiver who's elite. We love Nico Collins. He's one of my favorite wide receivers in the NFL. But Nico, Puka, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they just don't do it for me like Ashton Jeanty's gonna, especially as a 21-year-old superstar running back coming into the league that has 400-plus fantasy point upside. I just think his ceiling, his way to gain value and everything around that is just so much higher than these 3 wide receivers. So that's why I take Jeanty here.
Yeah, and the gap between 101 and 102 this year, and as of right now, most people have the consensus of Marion Hampton. Some people have it Henderson, some have Ward, some have McMillan, some have Hunter. It's all over the place. So we're just saying for right now, if Hampton goes top 12, that's what it's going to be. But the purpose of the show isn't to talk about who the rookie picks are. It's talk about what the equivalents are. And Snoog, from Dynasty Data Lab and trades that I've seen in the Discord, I mean, in the Patreon, we have seen thousands of trades with rookie picks. And these are the guys that I have valued right now as equivalents to the 102. And I love this group. I mean, we're talking Jackson Smith-Njigba, Drake London. Both of these guys are foundational wide receivers. Trey McBride is arguably the best value at the tight end position other than Kittle, where it's like he belongs up in this area. And then Saquon Barkley, who just coming off a career year here. So talk to me real quick. We're looking over here on the left-hand side. We're talking about Omarion Hampton or whatever that 102 is versus what we have on the right-hand side with these three particular studs. I mean, are you paying the 102 for the services of these four players? How do you rank them?
Yeah, I'd take the 102 over everybody on this list because Travis Hunter, when he plays full-time wide receiver or whoever this is, a first-round running back, whatever it's going to be, I'm thinking it's Travis Hunter. And to me, Travis Hunter is a better wide receiver than Jackson Smith-Njigba, better than Drake London. He's better than Saquon Barkley, dynasty market value-wise. And you're damn right, I'm taking him over at tight end. So people don't realize the type of prospect he is and what he's going to be when he goes top 4 in the NFL draft and plays wide receiver. He didn't even practice wide receiver, and he was literally the best wide receiver in the country. That's all you need to know about him. But like you said, it could be Hampton, who goes top 10 and 12. Could be Ted McMillan, who goes top 8 to 4. Mm-hmm. If Ted or Hampton, one of the Henderson, one of these guys goes where they're projected to go super high in the draft, they're going to be valued right there along these type of guys. They might not be over them, but they'll be with them. Mm-hmm. So I just think I'd rather the luxury of having just that 102, not putting a name on it, and just having the liquid ability of being able to say, I don't want Travis Hunter. I want London. I want Saquon. I want McBride. I want Marvin Harrison Jr. You're going to have that flexibility. So that's why I would take the 102 today over those players.
Yeah, I think that was a great point there because you have the liquidity of moving around. If a guy needs a tight end, if a guy needs a running back, if a guy needs a wide receiver, depending on that, where we talk about in rookie drafts, right? You can trade the 102 for the 105 plus, the 106 plus, and everybody wants that. Not everybody wants certain assets. Once you draft a player, that's who it is, right? But when you have the liquidity of the 102, there's so much more upside to change things. There's so much of a way to just kind of debate
and where people struggle. People struggle the most, Dad, and they've asked us this so many times. Well, why would you take the 102 if you're hoping it's the London or hoping it's JSN? Because I know that I'm going to have FOMO, rookie fever, and everybody in the league watching me pick at that 102 spot saying, I want that pick. I'll give you London in a second. I'll give you Saquon plus. I'll give you Marvin Harrison Jr. for it. And then I can say, well, now I have 5 options to do whatever I want with the 102. I'm not even going to make the pick. I'm just going to sell it and get a player that I want. Because you don't have to get pigeonholed to like a few players. It's just what the kind of value equivalents are. And that's the best way to play your rookie drafts is you don't need to make the pick. No one's holding you accountable and saying, if you don't make this pick, I'm kicking you from the league. You can literally do whatever you want with it.
So if I'm rebuilding, I'm taking London. And if I am all in and I need a tight end, I'm taking McBride just for the context. Moving on to the 103. 103, just like 102, I think we're talking about there is a real chance that 102 through 106 could be a tier where everybody kind of goes in that same area. You're going to see guys that are multiple values. For me, the pick equivalents here are very juicy. You're talking about this 103 is currently Ted McMillan. You have the pick equivalents of your choices of A.J. Brown, Jordan Love, Garrett Wilson, Ladd McConkey, Snoog. If you're looking at, you got Ted over there on the left-hand side. Ted is someone that posted multiple 1,300-plus yard seasons, multiple 10-plus touchdowns. Similar prospect if he goes top 10 to where Garrett Wilson was, at least value-wise. Are you taking Ted McMillan at the 103? Are you taking the 103 or are you taking any of these particular equivalents?
I think the 102 and 103 are going to be very similar value in players as long as, especially if Hunter doesn't go forward to the Pats and plays wide out. Like if it's kind of like up in the air with a bunch of players, I think they're going to be pretty similar in value, the two picks. So I would take Garrett Wilson over the 103. I would take Jordan Love over the 103, especially in 12-team Superflex. 6-point passing. You're just getting a top 10 quarterback with a massive contract. AJB, I think I'm more at the 104 with him, but it's right at the same value, but I'm taking the 103 over Lat McConkey. Like very easily too.
I'm going to take all 3 players over the 103 because I think Garrett Wilson is a better wide receiver than anybody coming out this year. Even if it's Hunter, I think just given the situation with Fields, AJ Brown is going to win you a championship. But again, the opposite of that, right? If I want to win, AJ Brown, we just did our production pillars of wide receivers. He's going to give you wide receiver 1 for multiple seasons. Jordan Love, I feel like, is one of the best super flex values right now. I would definitely take him. Lad McConkey's the line, but I think I'm leaning Lad as well. But that's what's interesting because when you talk dynasty, and Snoog and I have different personalities, different insight on that, we come to the same conclusions by the end. But right now, I prefer all of those players over the 103, but that's very equal playing field. So now we talk to the 104. Currently, market has that as Cam Ward as the 104. I'm looking at some pick equivalents here. We're talking tight end premium, Sam Laporta, Rashee Rice, T. Higgins, Achane, Bucky Irving. Are you preferring our pick over here at the 104, or are you preferring the players in this one?
Yeah, this is where I start to really, really love the rookie pick value. I'm going to take the 104 over this entire group. I think the line for me is T. Higgins. Definitely going to take him over Achane and Bucky. Why? Because Travion Henderson, Amari, and Hampton, one of those 2 running backs will be there at the 104, and they're both likely going to be better than both of these running backs. I'd probably slightly prefer Achane to Hampton, but it's same tier, same type of both top 6 to 8 running backs. I'm not paying the 104 for Sam Laporta, and if I can get that for him, I'm getting rid of him on all of my dynasty rosters because I can get George Kittle for the 111, 112, or Tyler Warren, a better tight end and a better dynasty value a couple picks later. So I think T. Higgins is the line where it's like if I want to go get a top 15 to 16 dynasty wide receiver, I can do that. Maybe Rashee Rice too. There's just a little bit more concern with him at the injury suspension, but I'd say T, Rice, and Achane are all right, properly valued in this 104, 105 range, but I'd take it over Bucky and Laporta. So if you can turn those 2 players into the 104, I would do it.
I'm taking Rashee Rice over the 104 pretty much everywhere. And I know that's above consensus. You don't have to. I would rather pay like 106, 107 plus and kind of move my way up there. I think if you're an all-in contender, I do see Achane's value in there, but however, I'm sticking with the 104. I think he's more appropriately valued towards that 103 if you believe in it. But the whole when Tua plays versus when Tua doesn't play really bothers me with him. Bucky was phenomenal. I think Bucky, talent-wise, is not the same as Henderson, Hampton, even Judkins, but I think what he showed was in this offense, he's going to be fantastic. 105. Current market, and Snoog's just, he's already referenced Travis Hunter, but this is going to be Hunter. This is going to be Warren. This is going to be Ward, depending on where your drafts are. The pick equivalents here start to get a little bit more interesting. So we have Baker Mayfield, Breece Hall, Rome Odunze, JJ McCarthy. Now, are you rather having the 105, which in this one is Travis Hunter, or these guys? You're going to say all of them, but we'll just say 105 versus this player. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm going to take the 105 over everybody besides Breece Hall here. Breece Hall has dynasty RB1 overall upside if he hits his stride, especially with an Aaron Glenn and Detroit coaching staff. Their passing game coordinator coming over as the new OC. They got the defensive coach there from Detroit now as their head coach, Justin Fields. That man is going to get 25 touches a game if he's healthy. He has RB1 overall upside, definitely top 3 upside. I don't know if it is Travis Hunter here. I'm going to take him over everybody. I don't think it's going to be, though. But just the general 105 pick, likely, I think it's going to probably be Ward, Warren, maybe Henderson or Hampton type of player. I have Breece Hall over Hampton and Henderson, but they're right there behind him. So I just think I'd lean Hall here over this pick, but I'd lean the pick over the rest of the guys here. Baker, JJ McCarthy, they don't knock my socks off enough to buy them for a 105 rookie pick.
I'm smashing Hall. I think Hall is one of the most undervalued dynasty running back buys. I think Rome Odunze is more talented than any wide receiver in this class. If these guys came out last year, they would not be going the same spot where Rome went in this particular. He went top 10. JJ McCarthy, you said, he knocks my socks off. JJ McCarthy in this Vikings offense, he would be the quarterback 1 in this class. So if I need a quarterback, I am throwing the 105 to JJ McCarthy all day long. Baker Mayfield, we don't know what it's going to be without Cohen, so the offense could look a little bit different, but he's been a great value. I would pay the 106. The 105 is a little bit pricey for me right now. Moving over to the 106, currently Travion Henderson, which gets me excited because it's like at certain points he's been the 102, and I think this is
you
the
want
tier
a
break.
top 6 pick in this class.
This is where the tier pick. This is this pick or the next pick. There's a clear tier break. The pick equivalent here, we're looking at Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, Jonathan Taylor, Devonta Smith. Now, a lot of you guys have just been like, yo, I'd rather have this or that. When you guys are doing this on YouTube, we're putting Travion Henderson on the left, but we're just going to go Goff, Lawrence, JT, Devonta. Talk to me about this. Would you rather the 106 or do you want the players here? And I'll break down the scenarios of why.
I'm going to take the 106 over both of these quarterbacks here. Smith and JT are same tier. I just want the reroll. I want the value of the 106. It's crazy because it's going to seem like it's like, oh, rookie fever, all that. No, this class is just very, very underrated right now. If you look at just last year and the years before, the 2023 class, the top 6 guys in the 2023 class all had way higher value than all these players we've been talking about. And same with last year's. This year's not as good, but this year still you're getting like a Travion Henderson, a Travis Hunter, and a Marion Hampton, a Tyler Warren type of prospect that's going to go. They could all go first round, early second round as the running backs. And you're getting that at the 106 range versus like a JT. Like, yeah, I'm going to take a Travion Henderson over a JT. Why? Because he's 22 years old and he's going to be the same thing as Jonathan Taylor if he hits his ceiling. Like, he's going to be a top 8 to 10 running back finisher for the next 5 years. Smith, I just don't think there's a ceiling there to want me to take him over the 106. I would want a discount like the 107, 108 if I'm going to buy a Devonta Smith. But it'd be a tier with Smith, JT, and in this case, it's Travion Henderson or the 106 for me.
All right, so right now, the 106 is going at the startup of mid-5th. Here's the deal.
Value.
So when that pick goes next year, it's going to be more like a 3rd or 4th round startup. So that's going to go up. I don't think Goff, Lawrence, JT, I think Lawrence could go up, but I don't think Goff, JT, and Devonta Smith can go up in value anymore.
Exactly.
JT will be 27. Devonta will be 27. Goff is the most perfect fit for a win now team. So if I'm win now and I'm missing a quarterback, I'm buying Jared Goff for the 106. And if I'm a rebuilding team, I'm holding on to the 106. But I think JT and Devonta cannot go up in value anymore. Lawrence, if I need it, and I'm like semi-building in somewhere, I have no problem paying that for Trevor Lawrence. I just ultimately don't own a lot of Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young type players that we're going to talk about here in the future. 107, and this arguably to me is the best pick of the entire
smash range
right now. I mean, whoever falls to 7, you are going to honestly just be head over heels.
I think even 9.
I'm not
We've
quite there yet.
About that before, but
Tyler Warren is a top 5 dynasty tight end day 1. And now you look at, we got Tyler Warren on the left. Would you prefer Tua, Olave, Kryen, Cook, or Worthy in comparison to anything that falls to the 107 here? But this is market value. Like, that's what a lot of times I've
why we did this show.
Startups, the 107 is going late 5th, which is the same area as all these players. And I think the 107 is clear cut above all of these players for me.
Yep. Absolutely agree. I'm taking the 109 over all these players on this list. And then it's the tier for me. Then it's the tier for me. I can't quite
go that far, but we'll go there. I would still, if I'm contending, I want Cook over the 109. I want Worthy over the 109 and Kryen. Olave and Tua, we're getting there pretty close.
So you would take Worthy over Emeka Egbuka?
Yeah.
You would take him right now, Judkins?
Right now, Egbuka's literally, most mocks have him going in the 2nd round. So, and this is why we're doing this pick versus the player. You know what I mean? Egbuka's last year, if we're talking about coming out like straight up value, who's a better prospect coming out, Worthy or Egbuka? And last year, when Egbuka was potentially coming out, now we had Worthy
top 10 projected pick when he was. No, I had Egbuka higher. We had Egbuka higher.
Okay.
Yeah, we both did. I remember.
But
we didn't think he was going to declare.
Let's move to 108. Quinshon Judkins, again, another great. And again, this doesn't mean that he's definitely going to be the 108. This is just where market is right now. We have the 108 or the pick equivalents of Dak Prescott, DJ Moore, Kenneth Walker, and Josh Jacobs. What do you think here?
Yeah, this is where this is like the range where I'm like, I kind of like turning my 108 into one of these players, depending on, because when you start getting to the 108, 109 range, it's probably going to be one of these 9 guys that we're talking about that either went later than they should have or went to a bad landing spot, or
Mhm.
Judkins or a Henderson or a Hampton went in a 1B situation with another really good running back. Like, it's probably going to be something like that that causes a really good player to fall down the board here. I'd be fine turning it into a Dak, into a DJ Moore, into a Kenneth Walker, into a Josh Jacobs plus a second type of deal. So here, if it's going Judkins today, for me, I would take him over a good amount of these guys, but I would take these guys over the 108 for straight up face value. Not
I'm
Jacobs,
taking
but
it.
I would take the other 3.
If I'm rebuilding, I'm sticking with the 108. If I'm contending, I'm
Yep.
taking every single one. I'm taking every single one of these guys.
Love
Dak
that.
Prescott is.
Same.
I just traded him for the 108 and the 208 in a FFPC pros versus Joes, but I already have multiple quarterbacks. DJ Moore, we just did in our wide receiver pillars episode. Kenneth Walker, I'm not in, but I think we can get great value for him in season for sure. And Josh Jacobs has been just an absolute staple for your dynasty rosters. Moving on to the 109 here again. If we get Egbuka to this spot, you're thrilled, right? You're like, man, I nailed this rookie draft. And that's why Snoog and I start trading out after 7. I start trading out for a little bit more. I think 9 is that line where you start to look at another value tier. And this one's interesting. Now we got Flowers, Christian McCaffrey, TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison. I can't see a scenario where I take any of these players over the 109.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, no, this is the range where
But
we're
this is their
avoiding
value.
in our. Yeah, it's their value, because I know a lot of people that would take these 4 guys over the 109 all. Maybe not McCaffrey, but I think Addison and Flowers, there's a lot of guys out there that are going to take him over a Judkins, Egbuka, Warren, Ward, whoever the heck it is there at the 109. But I'm not. I think Egbuka's a better wide receiver than both of these guys on this list. Maybe not talent-wise. I think Flowers and Addison talent-wise are kind of similar. They're up there with Egbuka. But like Egbuka goes first round, there's not really a team that I wouldn't rather him than Flowers on the Ravens. And same with Addison. It's like the third option with a rookie QB that's never taken a snap. Like, that's not a good landing spot. I don't care what anybody says. Jordan Addison and the Vikings, he's capped at 900 at 1,000 yards and 7 to 9 touchdowns. And it's a wide receiver 25 finish.
Yeah.
It's no
the
upside
110.
there.
And again, after we get to past the 19, we get to that 19. I'm trading these for 27 first plus. My main goal is, if I want a wide receiver, I'm trading 109 for a 27 first plus Cooper Kupp, because somebody's going to want to get them off their roster. If I'm needing a running back, I'm trading the 27 first. I'm trading 109 for a 27 first plus Najee Harris plus, James Conner. If I need a tight end, I'm trying to just get Kittle everywhere, so we don't even need to talk about that. But even if I need a quarterback, I'd get a 27 first plus Geno Smith. Get that thrown in there, because that's really where we're trying to look at. And there's so many ways to slice it. The best place to do that in is the Smash Accept Patreon. I will help you with your trades. Snoog will help you with your trades. We're going to talk about this. We got Shador Sanders over here to the left. Your pick equivalents. Would you rather have Metcalf, Waddle, Jameson, Fields, or the 110?
Yeah, I think Metcalf and Waddle are pretty close in value with the 110. I'm super low on Shador Sanders, but just the 110 in general in this exercise we're doing, I think Metcalf and Waddle are right there, market value. Definitely not even close to taking Jameson Williams. And I probably wouldn't take Fields unless I really need a QB2 and I want to just go pure upside shot and just get a guy that can finish as a high QB1 if he's healthy. But again, you start getting to that 110 to 112 range. Every league's different. All rookie picks are valued differently from league to league. It's this same range. The next 2 picks that we talk about, all these guys, you could just bucket them into a tier. And would you trade the 110, 111, 112 for them? You have that flexibility, I think, once you get to this range to kind of turn it into a Kittle, a Terry, a Metcalf, a Waddle, a Derrick Henry, something like that. So right now, face value, I'm taking the 110 over these guys. I can't even get a 26 first from Metcalf. I've tried in all my leagues. I have them. I'm stuck with them.
Yeah. So the tricky part is I think all of these guys have more They have plenty of upside for the 110. It's just rookie
Yeah.
fever for the 110 is always going to work out. I think I would pay
Yep.
the 112 for any of these, but I think 110 is going to be interesting. 111 currently,
Steal
Caleb
the draft
Johnson.
right here.
I'm seeing him fall a lot into the early second round, which blows my mind. I see a lot of drafts. Matthew Golden goes here.
He's gonna go in
Jackson
round 2
Dart.
of the rookie drafts.
But Snoog's the rookie guy. I'm the value guy. Snoog wants to talk about the rookies. I want to talk about the values here. Pick equivalent to the 111. George Kittle, Anthony Richardson, Terry McLaurin, Tyreek Hill, Chuba Hubbard. What would you prefer here?
Over the 111, because I have Caleb Johnson higher than this. I'm just going to look at it for the 111. I'm going to take Kittle. I'm going to take Kittle. I'm going to take Terry. I'm going to take Tyreek. That's it.
Okay. And I'm 100% taking Kittle. I want him everywhere I can. We talked about that. Tight end
1 overall, baby.
I just traded the 202 and a 26 second to get him because when Aiyuk leaves, or if he does, no matter what, Kittle's going to be a tight end 1. Terry McLaurin's a great pick here. I think 111, 112. If I can get Terry or Tyreek, I'm going to do it. The AR is really starting to scare me. I don't want to. If I'm trading Anthony Richardson, I don't want just the 111. I want something else that's going to be a little bit more fluid. I like to tear off of, Anthony Richardson. Chuba Hubbard, I'm not paying it. I've actually seen mocks with the Panthers taking a running back. I don't think they do because of Brooks, but I'm not paying the 111 for Chuba, but I would pay the 201 for sure. The rookie pick 112, we're going to call this Luther Burden. Luther Burden has this is what's wild about this class. I've seen him as high as 106. Luther Burden is a fantastic wide receiver, so we're not trying to diminish his. But for this particular purpose, we're looking at the pick equivalents of Derrick Henry, Sam Darnold, Brandon Aiyuk, Ricky Pearsall, and George Pickens. You're at that 112. Would you trade it for any of these players?
I'm going to take the 112 over everybody in this range because I just don't love any of them, first of all. Even if you go even deeper, like you get into your whoever's going, I don't even know who's going in that range for like wide receivers, running backs and stuff. But I just think I would rather take an upside chance on a young rookie than an Aiyuk, a Pearsall, a Pickens, a Darnold, like all those type of guys. I probably would just take Aiyuk over it, but that's probably the only person because I really think whether it's Burden, Caleb Johnson, whether Cam Scatabo goes in round 2 of the NFL draft, Matthew Golden is a first-round pick, Sanders falls as a first-round pick, Dart sneaks in the round 1 as a first-round pick. There's so many scenarios, I think, where I just rather take the rookie and just roll with it. Because one, the 112 is a cheap player. Like, look at these guys. If one of these guys and you have them on your roster and they stink, it's not going to be the end of the world for you. But two, if you hit on a Luther Burden that has red flags in his profile and then goes to the right situation and blows up, you're tripling your value. Like, he's probably valued as a top 20 dynasty wideout, and you're getting him at the 112, where we're talking about guys that are wide receiver 32 in dynasty or wide receiver 35 or a running back that's 32 years old, right? So process here. I just love the value of these rookie picks, and it reminds me of a lot better version of the 2022 class. And if you look at that class, it was Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Kenneth Walker, Chris Olave. Those 5 alone in that top 5 range all were valued as third-round startup assets or better at some point in time. And this class blows that class out of the water. That class didn't even have quarterbacks or tight ends. McBride, but nobody viewed him really like that because he was a second-round pick, and tight ends weren't really big and popular at that moment yet. So this is why I just prefer rookie pick values over guys that are they ever going to gain value? Like Aiyuk's the only person here I think that could really gain value unless they trade Aiyuk, CMC gets hurt, and then Pearsall starts. Like that's really the only way he can gain value.
And the other part of this is the 112 right now. It could be Burden, it could be Dart, could be Loveland, it could be Matthew Golden. Snoog and I keep saying there's a Sweet 16 in this draft, and these guys are included in that, as well as maybe even Cam Scatabo. So when you're at the 112, you got all these options. When you got I do want, if I'm all in, I want Derrick Henry wherever I can. I would prefer giving a late 26 first on those. I'm not going back to that list there. I'm not trying to go ahead and try to buy Sam Darnold anywhere.
Yep.
Brandon Aiyuk, I would pay the 112. I have no problem with that, but it's not the same upside for a 26-year-old wide receiver. Yeah. Ricky Pearsall's moving up in value.
We want to be in the 204 range or higher is what you're saying. because if you look at that list that you just had, that's 112, and then the 3 guys you listed plus Scatabo. If you have anything after that, try to get yourself in the 204 plus range, because I think that's going to be kind of that sweet spot range where you're getting the guys with the best draft capital and the best prospects. So that's kind of a good way to look at it. And like you said, Dad, it could be Scatabo, Loveland, Golden, Dart, Sanders, Johnson. It could be any of these guys in that 111, 110, 112 range. So a lot of options there.
Yeah, the biggest thing I'm trying to do, 101 is a tier by itself. I think 102 to 107 is a tier. I know you said up to 109, but I start to look at it and I'm like, Snoog, not everybody's going to go where we want them to. So 7, I think 8 and 9 are going to lose a little bit of value, but I think almost 8 through 12 is a tier of itself. And then even up until 204. So there's going to be a lot of moving there, but I think 2 through 7 is that real. These are dudes that are not going to miss. Like, this class is really loaded with that. Just like last year, we had it 1 through 8. You know what I mean? We had a couple tiers in there, but it was up into 8. I think the smash zone is at 7, but I think 8, 9, if things go right, could be there. I think 10 through 204 is very flat, and we're going to see some landing spots. But hopefully this helps. We're bringing you some wide receiver equivalents. We got the patreon.com /smash accept listed there. Literally, I do this for every player. So if you have Derrick Henry, you pull him up. You know, you look at the rankings and Derrick Henry's worth the 112, or if you pull up Alvin Kamara and you see he's worth the 203, or you can do that with every single player in Dynasty. I have it all broken down into tiers for your values to help you guys smash. So check it out. Thanks again for tuning in and enjoy the process.